Welcome back, Java enthusiasts. In today's video, we'll dive into the world of data types. Specifically, we'll explore the two main categories, primitive and non-primitive data types. Let's get started. I would also like to ask you to visit our Java series. You may come across new things that you don't know. Java is a statically typed language. This means that when declaring a variable, its type must be explicitly specified. Consequently, variable data types are resolved at compile time. We'll delve further into what compile time and runtime mean in Java. In this example, I and d are the names of the variables, where I contains an integer value and d contains a decimal value. We can observe that int and double are the data types defined for these variables respectively. After defining the data type, it is important to note that we cannot assign a double data type value to an int variable. However, it's worth mentioning that in some specific cases, such assignments may be allowed. We'll explore these cases in more detail later on. But what are all these data types? Let's discuss them one by one. Let's think of data types like labels on jars in your kitchen. Each jar holds different items, and the label tells you what's inside without opening it. In programming, a variable is like a jar, and its data type is the label. It tells the computer what kind of data the variable can hold without having to check its content. These labels are set during compile time before the program runs, ensuring that the variable's usage matches the label. Just like you label jars to know what's inside before opening them, data types help computers handle data correctly. There are two data types, primitive and non-primitive. Let's begin with primitive data types. Primitive data types specify the size and type of value that should be stored in a variable, and they do not have additional methods. In Java, there are 8 primitive data types, which include byte short, int long float, double char. Boolean, non-primitive data types, on the other hand, are those that refer to objects. They work similarly, but come with additional advantages and refer to objects. Some examples of non-primitive data types include string arrays wrapper classes. These data types play a crucial role in Java programming. Indeed, byte, short, int, and long are used for storing integer values in Java, but they differ in their range and memory usage. Let's examine this with an example. For instance, let's consider the maximum age of a human, which is approximately 100 years. Now think about the maximum number of pages that a typical book might have, let's say 12,000. Keep in mind that in the background, Java allocates 1 byte for a byte data type variable and 2 bytes for a short data type variable. So, when deciding which data type to use, you need to consider your requirements. If you choose a short data type for storing the age of a user, you would be using more memory than necessary, which could lead to higher costs. The same principle applies to other variables and data types. It's important to select the appropriate data type based on the expected range and memory usage for your specific use case. In this table, we have listed the primitive data types, along with the amount of memory each data type occupies, and their respective ranges. Pause the video and go through the table, or take the screenshot. Also check the notes, which I recommend. In the next video, we will see how to calculate the range of any data type. Let's understand the difference between the primitive and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types. These are predefined in Java. In contrast, non-primitive data types are created by programmers and come with additional functionalities in the form of behaviors known as methods. In primitive data types, values are not null. They have default values depending on their data type. For example, an int has a default value of 0, whereas non-primitive data types have a default value of null. Primitive data types do not have methods or functionality beyond storing data. Non-primitive data types can have methods associated with them to perform various actions or operations. Thank you for joining us on this incredible learning journey. We're committed to providing you with the best possible resources to help you master Java programming. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of our Java learning series.